When you're shopping for a subcompact crossover, you either had to choose between price or specs. Now when a subcompact crossover comes in at below 1 million pesos, you know you've got our attention. Friends, the 2020 Chery Tiggo 5X LUX. Let's do this! Hello again guys, I'm Reagan and welcome back to another car review and drive impressions. Now, before we begin this car review, I'd like you guys to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button as well so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Now, what I have here is the 2020 Chery Tiggo 5X LUX. This is the top-of-the-line subcompact crossover offering from Chery Philippines. It's a little bit smaller than the Tiggo 7, a little bit bigger than the Tiggo 2, and it's meant to go head-to-head against the likes of the mighty Geely Coolray, the Honda HR-V, the Subaru XV, and the Mazda CX-3. But does it have what it takes to run with these bad boys? Well, we're here today to take a closer look at the car, after which we'll go out on the road for that virtual on-road tour. When you first see the Tiggo 5X LUX, your first impression is it kind of looks like a bulldog. It's got a macho stance that makes it seem bigger than it really is. You've got your hood bulges here giving it a muscular look, and you've got your large headlamps which further accentuates that macho stance. Now, speaking of headlights, you will note that up here on the top, you've got character lines into the headlights, which kind of reminds me of eyelashes, to be perfectly honest. Your headlights are not LED units. These are xenon headlights, which are 4 times brighter than your standard halogens. They're not as spiffy looking as LED headlights, but well, in terms of functionality, they do the job. You get your blacked out, gloss black, jewel-like finish for your front grille. You've got your chrome strip here in the middle, which tidies up the look. And you've got some fake vents going on here to the sides of your front bumper, which are kind of normal already in today's modern cars. You got your DRLs here and your matte aluminum front skid plate. Overall, Chery says that their design for the Tiggo series is the crouching tiger design. But to be perfectly honest, aside from reminding me of a bulldog, this particular unit right here kind of reminds me of a panda. An angry little panda. So cute. Moving on to the side of the Chery Tiggo 5X LUX, you get side repeaters here on your power folding side mirrors. Yes, you heard me right, these are power folding side mirrors and they automatically fold in every time you lock your car. That's a pretty nifty touch for a car that's less than 1 million pesos. You get your matte aluminum finished roof rails up top, and you get your matte aluminum finish inverted bread knife here at the bottom, just in case you get hungry while you're driving your Tiggo 5X on the road. Now for wheels and tires, you get 17-inch wheels with a design that's pretty standard, pretty normal, pretty so-so when it comes to the subcompact crossover segment, and it's wrapped in 215/55 R17 tires. Now these tires are Chaoyang tires. Now for those of you who are not in the know, Chaoyang is manufactured by one of the largest tire companies in China. So in terms of durability, safety, and performance, they should be up there with pretty much more established name brands. Now hiding behind these 17-inch wheels are 4-wheel disc brakes. Now that is something that you don't really get to see in vehicles below the 1 million peso price point. You got 4-wheel disc brakes, which should enhance your braking performance and safety as well. Now looking at the rear part of the side of the Tiggo 5X LUX, you'll see that it's practically been chopped off to give it a shorter rump, and this gives it a beefier, more pudgy look to it in terms of the side profile. Moving to the rear of the Tiggo 5X LUX, you get your shark's fin antenna up top. You get your rear spoiler here, which gives it a sleeker look, considering that to me, the Tiggo 5X kind of looks pudgy. You get these nicely designed taillights here and this nice chrome strip down the middle, which ties the whole look together. You get your rear view camera here near the plate holder, and if you look down here on the rear bumpers, you will see that no, you don't get dual exhaust tips. These are just made to look like they're exhaust tips, but they're fake. Instead, you will look closely, you will see that it houses your rear parking sensors. Now, if you're looking for the exhaust tips on your Tiggo 5X LUX, it's nowhere to be found. It's discreetly hidden under the car, just like its other Tiggo brothers. Now, if you open the lift gate, you will see that it's not a power-operated lift gate. No biggie there because it's not really expected, especially at a price point of below 1 million pesos. When you open the lift gate, you will see that the trunk opening is low and it's wide, which should assist you when it comes to lifting large and heavy stuff inside your trunk. Now, your trunk can carry up to 340 liters of stuff. And that makes it amongst the class leaders amongst the subcompact crossover segment. You also get this nice tonneau cover, which hides your stuff from prying eyes, and at the same time gives also a rear deck lid for your rear passengers to put more stuff in. Now let's get over to the front and check out what kind of engine powers this Tiggo 5X LUX. Alright guys, so here we have the engine of the Tiggo 5X LUX. As you can see, it's a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine that is good for 114 horsepower and 141 Newton meters of torque. Now this baby is also mated to a CVT transmission, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of performance it puts out later in our road test. Now as you could see also, the engine is sitting quite low inside the engine bay, and I believe this is the lowest engine that I've seen in any engine bay that I've reviewed. So this should probably help with center of gravity and probably with some of the handling characteristics of the car. But anyway, enough with the engine. If you guys are ready, we can go inside the car and see what kind of tech goodies we can find in the Tiggo 5X LUX. Now upon opening your door, the first thing you'll notice is that you've got power adjustable seats for your driver's seat. Now this is a luxury that normally can't be found in the 1 million or below price point. Now the seats themselves are made of faux leather. Now although these are faux leather, these are nicely done. You've got perforations here in the middle and nice white contrast stitching here. The design of the leather is tasteful, if you notice. And you've got quite a good amount of bolstering as well. So now let's get inside the Tiggo 5X. Alright, stepping inside the Tiggo 5X, the first thing you'll notice is you've got this nice leather wrap steering wheel with nice stitching as well. You've got your buttons here for cruise control, for operating your LED gauges, and your audio control as well. Now, if you look at the gauges, you will see that the Tiggo 5X didn't scrimp on your gauges, because normally if you're looking at a car that's less than 1 million pesos, you normally would get a basic analog gauges for your speedometer and your tachometer and stuff like that. But not in the case of the Tiggo 5X. Here you get the same LED display that can be found in its more luxurious brother, the Tiggo 8. You've got your speedometer right here at the left, you got your tachometer in the right, and in typical Chery fashion, you've got your fuel gauge and your engine temperature gauge right there. So another party trick that the Tiggo 5X can do is when you go into the modes, you'll notice here that there's a word here called themes, and the theme can be changed from passionate to dynamic, which is something that we didn't find in the Tiggo 8, to fantasy. So you've got 3 themes for your instrument gauges. So I like the fact that Chery did that with the Tiggo 5X despite being a subcompact crossover. So good job, Chery, on that. You also got your tire pressure monitoring system found here. Another luxury that can't be found in the sub 1 million price point. So that's pretty fantastic. Now moving on to the infotainment display, you will see that this is the star of the show inside the cabin of the Chery Tiggo 5X LUX. You've got a massive 9-inch screen here that has Apple CarPlay and Baidu CarLife, which honestly I have no idea what that is. It doesn't have Android Auto, and since I'm using an Android phone, I just have to make do with a Bluetooth connection, which is a pretty quick connection. That's okay. So got my Spotify right there. But as you can see, at 9-inch, this could have grown a little bit bigger because here to the side, to the right side, you got a couple more inches of blank space, which has been occupied by this massive hazard button right here. So if Chery made this a little bit more discreet and made the screen bigger, now that would be fantastic. But anyway, at 9 inches, fully capacitive LED touchscreen display, I am not complaining at all. Now, this infotainment system has a party trick up its sleeve. So you go up to media setting, okay, and you can see that there's a display button here, and you'll see that there's a wallpaper and a theme. Now when you go to the theme, you could change your theme between these 2 themes. So we're now in the blue theme. Let's go to the Chery Tiggo 5X theme. So as you can see, the car, the theme has been changed, and now we have Tiggo 5X in the display. But you also have a wallpaper option here, and here you could change your wallpaper to choose between 3 default settings. So let's say let's choose this one. This looks nice and cool. Okay, so let's set that as wallpaper. But if you're not happy with the 3 default settings, you also got a setting for a custom wallpaper where you could just plug in your USB flash disk and you can put in whatever wallpaper you want in your infotainment screen. That's pretty good because in other car manufacturers, you have to hack into the system in order to put in your own custom wallpaper. So in the Chery Tiggo 5X, you don't need to do that. Now, when it comes to the camera, let's put this in reverse. Okay, we're now in reverse. As you can see, you only have a backing up camera, a rear view camera. You don't have a 360-degree view camera. It's not really expected at a sub 1 million peso price point. But notice the resolution of the camera. This has got to be the sharpest resolution screen I've seen in any of the cars that I've reviewed. I mean, look at how bright and clear that is. So that should aid you very well when you're reverse parking or getting out of a slot. Let's get out of reverse now. Okay. Now going down below the infotainment screen, you've got your manual AC controls here. They're actually tastefully done. They kind of look like automatic climate control systems, but they're not. They're just manual, so you just have to adjust your temperature here. When you adjust it, the screen also reflects the changes that you've done on your AC. Now you don't get the dual climate control here, but granted it's a small car, you don't really need it. Below your AC vents, your AC controls, you get your chargers, you get your 12-volt charger, a couple of USB ports, and you got this gorgeous center stack. Now if you look at the center stack, this is something that you don't get to see in this price point. At below 1 million pesos, you got this nice softly padded leather insert both on the driver's side and the passenger side that gives it a more luxurious feel. Now in the middle, you'll find the center stack, and it has a gorgeous dark aluminum brushed finish here, a brushed aluminum finish. It's great looking, it's fantastic, and it couples well with this nice looking gear shifter. Now the shifter itself is surrounded by glossy black plastic, which they should have just stuck with the dark aluminum finish here, because this baby would be getting a lot of scratches in no time. Now you've got your engine start button here, which is oddly placed as well because I'm normally used to seeing this beside the steering wheel. So this is a little bit of something that you need to get used to with your engine start stop button here. Unless you drive a Lamborghini, then you're probably used to something like this. Wow, Chery and Lamborghini. Now that's a nice combination. Well, you also have here another luxury, another party trick that can't be found under the 1 million peso mark, and you've got your electronic parking brake with auto brake hold feature. Now this is a great convenience, especially when you're driving in the city. Now you also got your power button for your audio controls here, your volume controls as well, and you've got some buttons here for your home settings and your call answer button in the middle. You've got a couple of cup holders here and a regular looking center cubby right here. Now looking at the dashboard of the Chery Tiggo 5X LUX, you will note that it is a little bit more on the masculine side. It's got these nice dark textured finishes on the center dash, which is also broken by the matte aluminum finish insert there with the word Tiggo. You've got a matte aluminum finish door handle, some chrome found around the door speakers and all that. So overall, it's minimalist, it's stark. In terms of fit and finish, it's pretty good, it's decent, no unsightly gaps, no creaks, it's all well made actually. So especially for this price point, this is a great cabin to be in. Now another luxury that can be found in the Tiggo 5X that can't be found in any other car that's below the 1 million peso mark is its sunroof. Now, this is no panoramic sunroof, it's just a regular sunroof. It's a little bit small, in fact, for a sunroof, but it's still there. Now, it comes with an annoying little quirk that I will show to you guys right now. So when you open the sunroof, I'll press the button here. It opens like that and then it stops. Now, you'd think that it's opened all the way, but when you let go of the button and press it again, it keeps going back a couple of inches more. Now, I find it a little bit annoying. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't even know what that is for. I mean, when you're pressing the button all throughout, the sunroof should open all the way. Now, here's a second annoying quirk about this sunroof. When you close it, there you go. You've closed it, but it's only the glass sunroof that closed. The sunshade didn't go with it. Instead, you have to manually pull it to get it out of the sun. So that's also another annoying little quirk that I found here for the sunroof. But the mere fact that you can have a sunroof at below 1 million pesos, I have no right to complain at all. That is still a good touch. So now that we've explored the entire driver's seat, let's go over to the back just to see what kind of space we could find there, or if there are any toys that can be found in the back seat. Alright guys, I'm here in the back seat of the Tiggo 5X, and as you can see, there are absolutely zero toys to be found here in the back seat. You don't get a center AC vent here in the middle. Instead, you get this little cubby where you could park your M&Ms or your Mentos. You don't get a USB charging port at all, so you can't charge your devices. You don't even have a dome light in case you're looking for something in the dark. So there's really nothing to be found here at the back seat. Now, in terms of comfort, the seats are quite supportive, a little bit firm, but pretty decent. And in terms of legroom, you've got a decent amount of legroom as well. I'm 5'6", and as you can see, my knee doesn't even touch the seat back of the person in front. Now, the front passenger seat is adjusted to somebody who is taller than me, maybe around 5'8", 5'9". So yeah, that gives you a decent amount of space here at the back. Headroom is okay, but overall, zero toys found here in the back seat. Now, if you guys are ready, let's go take this baby out for a drive just to see what kind of performance it can give us on the road. Alright guys, to go for that drive, you take out your Tiggo 5X key and you press the lock button and press it for 3 seconds. And your Tiggo 5X engine starts remotely. So the Tiggo 5X has a remote engine start feature which also turns on your AC. And that's great when you're parked in the hot parking lot and you want to cool down your cabin. But this car has some kind of a quirk, a little trick that I kind of find annoying. You see, most cars with remote engine start features, they start the engine, they start the AC, you get in the car, you drive off. Great, right? You unlock the car, drive off. That's great, that's fine. Now, the Tiggo 5X, it's also locked, see? And what you have to do is you have to press the button here to unlock the car. Now, when you unlock the car engine dies. Check this out. See? Upon opening the door, the engine died on me, as well as the aircon. So what happened was, when you get in the car, you'll have to press the push start button again to restart your car, and that's when you drive off. So this is a little quirk that I find kind of annoying, because the main reason why you want a remote engine start your car is just for the convenience of just unlocking your car and driving off. But now with the Tiggo 5X, this baby, once you unlock your doors, the engine would die down on you. Now that is a bit funny, if not annoying. Alright, so going for that drive in the Tiggo 5X LUX. Now the first thing that you'll notice with this car is just how high your sitting position is. I mean, it feels like I'm driving a car that's much bigger than what I have. And that's a great thing. Why? Because with this high sitting position, you get a commanding view of the road, and it's great news for people who are vertically challenged like me at 5'6", or maybe if you're shorter than 5'6", then the Tiggo 5X would be a great car to drive, because you've got you don't need long legs to reach everything, and you've got a high sitting position. So that's great, that's good. Now, another thing about the car is, even if it's a subcompact crossover, you could feel the heft. It has that solid heft to it while you're driving it. The steering wheel is a little bit on the light side, which is pretty normal when it comes to these electrically assisted power steering wheels. So it's no biggie there. There's a little bit of heft also there. So I like the way that Chery put in a little bit of feedback, a little bit of feel in an otherwise electrically powered steering wheel. You don't hear any creaks or rattles inside the cabin, and there's no unsettling sounds that can be heard underneath the car when you're going through some, some bumpy roads and some not so perfect roads at that. So that's all good as well. Now in terms of suspension, the Tiggo 5X acquits itself quite well. I'm going through a highway now that's pretty well known for having a bumpy ride, and as you can see or hear, the suspension pretty much absorbs everything that I throw at it. It's tuned more for comfort and pliancy, see? And the good thing there is you don't hear any worrying creaks or rattles underneath your car, and that's a good thing. Yeah, the suspension is tuned fantastically for comfort. If you're looking at comfort, it's great. Okay, we're now approaching a stoplight and we have to hit the brakes. In terms of braking power, it is more than adequate, made possible by that four-wheel disc brakes that can be found in this car. So that's another good thing. You have ample braking power, so that also improves your safety as well. So now that the positives are out of the way, let's tackle the biggest elephant in the room. Now most of my viewers know that I hate CVT transmissions, but the one found in the Tiggo 5X LUX, well, it's weird at best and disappointing at worst. You see, at low speeds, engine torque is practically missing. It's great if you're just driving around in a city road like this with the flat roads or flat streets. But if you have to negotiate a steep incline, well, your best bet is to put your car in manual mode to keep it in low gear and gun that engine. But even then, your car would struggle to get up that incline. Now I know this because I have a steep incline going into my parking garage, and when I tried negotiating that ramp, man, this car's engine was just straining. It was practically screaming just to get up that incline. So if you're fully loaded and you're going up an incline or a mountain road, well, your best bet really, just put it in manual mode, turn off your air conditioning and gun that engine. You see guys, the combination of a 1.5 liter non-turbo engine and a CVT that's anemic and a 1,300 kilo curb weight results in a car that has absolutely zero sporty aspirations. You'd really hear the engine struggling as you mash on the pedal and try to build up some speed. Now, speaking of building up on speed, when you're going on a highway and you want to overtake another car, you have to execute some careful planning in doing that. Because it takes a while for the CVT to bring down the power, well, you really have to make sure you've got enough space to execute that overtaking maneuver. Now, because of the weight and that tiny 1.5 liter non-turbo engine, you could also expect that the fuel economy of the Tiggo 5X is pretty dismal. At city driving, you could only net around 6 kilometers per liter, and for highway driving, your best result would be 12 kilometers per liter. Now, if you think about it, those are the same fuel economy figures of a large gas-powered mid-size crossover. But you do get the same fuel economy figures, but you don't get the same performance as well. Overall, the Chery Tiggo 5X LUX is a comfortable and easy to drive crossover. It's meant for those slow, leisurely drives around town or the city, as long as your city has flat roads. Make sure it doesn't have steep inclines, steep parking garages, or you don't have to go to a hilly mountain road. Otherwise, your driving skill will be put to the test. The Tiggo 5X LUX as a top spec model comes in with a lot of features and conveniences that can't be found at this price point. This fully loaded subcompact crossover can be had for only 950,000 pesos. Now that is the same price as a mid-range bare bones subcompact sedan from other manufacturers. It's only let down by its anemic CVT tuning, but if you don't have a steep parking ramp that you have to negotiate like I do, or if you don't have to drive it around mountainous regions or cities, well, I believe that the Chery Tiggo 5X is still a good value for money purchase. Once again, guys, thank you for watching one of my car reviews. If you like this review, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. I promise you I'll make it worth your while if you subscribe to my channel. Anyway, guys, I'm Reagan, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.